Have with us Stephanie Ramey, who is the sales manager for Discover Central Massachusetts. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, Stephanie, for maybe our viewers who aren't familiar, maybe you could just give a little overview of what is Discover Central Massachusetts and kind of how it came to be.
Absolutely. So Discover Central Mass is essentially the tourism board for the area. So we are a group of energetic individuals who are very passionate about Worcester and the 35 surrounding towns that we cover. Our goal is to really demonstrate to visitors, to event attendees, business travelers, and residents all of the exciting changes that are happening here, all of the resources that are available to them in the city, and just the exciting culture that we've developed in this area.
And so part of that is, highlighting organizations, institutions, events, and things that are happening. But part of your work is actually going around the region, around the country, to talk about why events and things should be held in Worcester, in the region. Maybe you could just talk about how you do that.
Absolutely. So we have two divisions within our sales team. We have myself, who handles the corporate and the association markets, and we have a gentleman named Michael Lucy, who handles the sports market. So ultimately, we target event planners throughout the country that have meetings and things that might be a good fit for the Worcester area. For me, particular regional events are phenomenal here. We have a great location. So what I do is I'll call into an association, figure out what they're trying to accomplish with their events, and discuss what's going on in the Worcester area and why they might want to consider this part of the country.
And depending on the size of the event or the organization's needs, I mean, the DCU and the convention centers, obviously top of the line, but there are other venues in the city and in the region that you're promoting.
Yes, I mean, we're very, very fortunate in this area. We have a convention center that has over, I think it's 100,000 square feet of exhibition space, and that's a huge resource to us. I mean, the location of it is great. We're right off the highway. We've got excellent hotel properties in the area. But it's those unique venues that seems to be lately what's a major driving force with event planners coming to the area. So what I do is I essentially when you're asking and trying to find something new, people want something special. They want to create an experience. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them haven't heard of Mechanics Hall. They haven't heard of the Hanover Theater. They haven't thought that the Worcester Art Museum might actually be a place to host an event or a corporate retreat at the Ecotarium. Mm-hmm. So we're very, very blessed in this area to have these type of properties accessible to us. And they're ultimately hidden treasures. So when you tell an event planner, I mean, this is what they do. When you tell them, you can have a dinner on a stage of a historic theater, and you tell them it can snow on them, and the snow can melt, essentially, you're creating that experience, and they want to know what this venue is. So there's a lot of excitement around these properties, and it's definitely been a driving force with them.
On authenticity and character in the region, and then you said experience options, the restaurants, the hotels, kind of the changing dynamic in the city, and then just a town or two out, some rural settings that are also attractive.
Yep, I mean, we're in a unique location. You can go out 30 minutes and be part of White Barn and have that more rustic experience, the experience of the public house. Here, like I said, you've got Mechanics Hall and you've got this grand entrance and so much history involved there. So this is truly a very special region, and I think there's a lot of excitement. We offer great value. So it's
you juxtaposition the cost, and Worcester doing an event like that to Boston or to some of the other major cities. It can be a difference. And we're all on budgets.
Yep, you can take a budget and really stretch it here. So if you've been hosting an event in the Boston market, the last 3 years, well, now you can come here, get that same atmosphere, but really invest with a production team and focus on lighting and really maybe go up a notch with a caterer. So there's a lot of play here. You've got great parking access. It's a very convenient location.
And this is important for a number of reasons. We get to have people come, and invariably, and we hear it time and time again, when people come to the city, they come to the region, they're impressed. It's very different than maybe what they perceived. They want to come back. But there's a real economic impact to this. These are dollars that are discretionary that could be in other places around the country, but they're coming here and supporting restaurants, hotels, jobs, caterers, companies that do events.
I'm a resident of Worcester. I've been here most of my life, and You know, you see these cheerleaders at the DCU Center and you don't really think twice about it. You know, it's just a group walking by and you might make note, but you don't understand until you actually see the numbers what the economic impact is on having, you know, a 3-day conference or a 3-day cheerleading
Not to put you in a
competition.
spot, but do you have an example of what some of those numbers are?
You know, not off the top of my head, but I know like the Spartan race, for example, is one that we're working with, and it's a pretty significant amount between, you know, you've got to realize
What they spend on hotels,
Yeah.
restaurants, you know, all those.
you're buying
yeah.
coffee, you're stopping to get gas. I mean, it's such a tremendous ripple effect, and really, it's essential to the development of Worcester.
Right. I mean, we see that in the way the city measures kind of the hotel motel tax, the meals tax. I mean, those have consistently grown. And, you know, as we create this demand and
Yep.
need more hotels, that's additional revenue that comes back
Yeah.
into the city and supporting a whole array of businesses.
The hotels are key. I mean, you know, you say, well, who's going to use these hotels? But I can't tell you. I brought up regional events specifically because we have a certain number of hotel spaces available. But for us to take it up a notch and to attract even larger events, we need those hotel rooms. You know, it's imperative. So you have requests for proposals that will come in, and they want 1,000 rooms, and we just, you know, we're not at that point. So we've got a great niche here where anyone that is within, you know, the Providence area, Manchester, Hartford, we're in a very commuter-friendly location. So that seems to be the type of event that's really, really thriving in this area.
Now, hopefully, as new hotels come online
Yeah.
as we speak, construction, that'll afford some more options for kind of the larger.
We're on the
larger-
radar. We're on the radar. People are watching. They're excited about the AC Marriott coming on. It's the second full-service hotel property. They're excited about the Hilton Homewood Suites.
Good stuff.